St.Stephen's Mar Thoma Syrian Church, Marol, present, cross, rhythm of life. Today's meditation is taken from Job chapter 42 verses 10 to 17. Today's meditation is led by Neha Thomas.
The Bible portion for today's meditation is taken from the book of Job, chapter 42, verses 10 to 17. Trials and tribulations are a part of life, and the book of Job teaches us to face and overcome them. Job was a righteous man who had faced many problems throughout his life. He lost his children, his wealth. His health was deteriorated by painful sores throughout his body, and ultimately he was left alone by everyone. His friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar came to him to provide solace, but blamed him that all this happened because of his sins. Eventually, God's anger grew on Job's friends as they could not speak well of God like Job. God became furious and asked them to take 7 bulls and rams to Job as a sacrifice and ask him to pray for the forgiveness of their sins. Even while going through a lot of pain and misery, Job didn't forget about his friends who had mocked him. Instead, he sincerely prayed to God to forgive them. Job could have forgotten about his friends who weren't there for him in his painful times, but he didn't do so and proved as a big example of letting go of the past for the sake of the love that he had for his friends. Even today, we have not been able to restore many relationships because we have broken them, saying that people have done wrong, blamed, or acted badly. When Job forgets everything and prays for his friends, the relationship grows stronger, and we should also try to inculcate this in our lives. It was only after Job forgave his friends and prayed for them that he found the blessings that God reserved for him. Sometimes it seems that God is far from us, but if our minds are well aware of the scriptures, we know that He is very near during our difficult times. As mentioned in verse 10 to 11, when Job prayed for his friends, God gave him twice as much as he had before and made him prosperous again. His brothers, sisters, and acquaintances came to his house and feasted with him. It is natural that in this scenario, he would have been reluctant and hesitant to interact with them, as they were nowhere near when he was going through a lot of suffering. But being the good person that Job was, he was willing to consider them as his own people again and to celebrate with them, along with giving them gifts from his blessing. What we learn from this is that our God is a God of comfort. What God is doing for Job flows from His love and grace, not out of obligation for Job's righteousness. The suffering we have endured is not the end of our lives. There can be good to come in the future. Job's fortunes were never God's response to his faithfulness and goodness. Instead, evidence of God's pleasure in blessing a man he takes pride in. The book of Job invites us to lay down our pride and humble ourselves before God's love. God has a greater purpose for us as He allows evil and suffering in this world in order to strengthen us. Trust in His wisdom, trust in His compassion, and trust in His mercy. Christ has taught us to love our enemies, pray for those who persecute us, do good to others without any expectation. He not only said this, but also proved it through His life. The way Job forgave his friends, God expects us to forgive others and pray for them. In this Lenten season, let us not isolate people due to past issues, but try to mend the bonds that are broken to live in harmony with each other. May the Holy Spirit open our eyes to see the God who rules this universe according to His wisdom and love. May we see Jesus as the one who does not treat us as per the standards of justice, but with undeserved love and mercy. May God bless us all.